All right. Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. Perfect. All right, so we're just going to kick off just as people are joining us for the 11 o'clock. Just a poll. So if you could learn any new skill instantly, what would that be?
That's an interesting one, Jessie. Oh yes, I'd definitely be speak multiple languages fluently.
No master martial arts.
No.
Ooh.
Oh yes, everyone wants to speak multiple languages.
So, yeah.
Love it.
Good.
I think we've still got a lot of people jumping on.
Yeah, we'll just wait a couple more seconds there. All right, I guess we can start with the intro of who will be joining us today.
Jessie. Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, I'm not Anwar today. I'm Janine, and a lot of you would have met me in the past, but I'm going to be running the demo or the session today. Along with me on the session is the fabulous Jessie, who a lot of you would have met previously. We've also got one of our newer account managers, Jaden, who's joining the session with us today. And we've got one of our key product managers, Tristan. And Tristan is actually going to be running us through the demo and how the police checks are going to work for you today. So it has been an amazing journey. You know, after 2 years in the making, we've finally been accredited by ACIC as a provider of the nationally coordinated crim history checks, aka police checks. So we've spent about 2 years of R&D, and finally we're launching this month. So the webinar is going to give you a sneak peek. Tristan is going to be doing the demo itself, and he's going to be doing it from his staging account. So you'll have to forgive us. There might be a few little pieces that you see that you're not familiar with, but we'll be talking through those as we go. So on that note, Jessie, do you want to give us the outcome from the poll, and then we'll jump straight in?
Sounds good. So it looks like the winner was speaking multiple language fluently, and a close second was play a musical instrument professionally. So thank you for everybody that got involved in that. There will be a couple polls throughout the webinar as well that we'll send through.
Fabulous. Thanks, Jessie. And Tristan, you're all good to go? Oh.
Just has to go on stage.
Well, I think we've still got people jumping on as well, so.
And if anybody has any questions, just obviously there's the chat session onto the right-hand side there. So just add in any sort of questions along the way, and we'll take breaks throughout the webinar to answer everybody's questions.
Thanks, Jessie.
All right, as we wait just for Tristan to come on stage, just a very clear question. How many police checks do you do in 1 year?
And of course, I think one important question as well, along with how many police checks are people processing, both for employees and also new candidates. You know, are you currently outsourcing it?
Yeah. Okay, I think we're good to do a demo now.
Very good.
All right, over to you.
Let's share my screen.
Tristan.
One tick.
So first up, what we're going to look at is how to start the process, where it's triggered from in your recruitment process. So where Tristan is now, he's got a job created there, he's got a candidate in that job, and he's now going to take us into that candidate record. So typically in your own accounts, you'd be progressing the candidates to a stage called police checks. Tristan is actually going to demo it. You'll see at the bottom under the reference checks in the tab there, that is where the police check can also be triggered from, directly from the employee or the candidate record. Super easy to get started. Start the new crim check now. Thanks, Tristan.
So as you can see, most of the stuff is pre-populated. The only thing you need to really know is if the applicant will be in contact with vulnerable individuals. Everything else is pulled from the job. So the position, the location, all that stuff is just pulled straight away. Then you can customize this email. I just have a placeholder image here, but you can put your branding at the top, and then it's just a matter of sending it. So now the candidate will receive an email. I will quickly grab that from our staging email inbox. Where are you staging? Let me just bring this in.
And of course, that candidate email that Tristan showed us, all customizable. The view we're looking at now is the candidate or the employee experience. They receive an email, they open it up, and they just hit the start check now. Now, also, Tristan, here we have two-factor authentication to start that process because we're linking them away from their email. There's a great instructional video for them with PDF instructions here to watch as well. You'll notice there's a few other features on this page. They can save the process and finish it later, come back to that link. Otherwise, at the bottom, they just acknowledge, yes, I'm good, and they continue on to the next step in the process. All the candidates' personal information will automatically populate through onto the form for them. The context for the check, whether it's paid employment, and also those contact with vulnerable groups. There's no contact, there's supervised contact, etc. is all pre-populated from the screen we were previously on. And then the requester details, this is your company details. And then they just move once again, save and continue straight to the next stage. This area here is where they would need to indicate if they have previous names they may have been known as, and you can see where Tristan is now, they can just type and update that information.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, and then the next step is location information, and once again that would have automatically populated through, but this example here we need for the past 5 years and from the date. It's almost like you're filling out a rental application. Yeah. So you've got your current address and your previous addresses going back to the last 5 years. Easy to enter there. And then the identity requirements. So just like when you're completing, you know, the 100 steps of 100 points for ID, we start with the first piece, which is uploading the passport. Now, for the candidate or the employee, that passport, they can also, if they're on their mobile phone, have the ability to scan or use the QR code functionality as well. You can see their QR code available. Otherwise, it's just business as usual. They upload it. Which are you going to do?
Yeah, I'm just going to mobile
do
it
from
so
mobile?
Just bear with me while I quickly take a shot.
No worries.
We just actually, as we're waiting for Tristan to do that, we have a question from Tanya. Where does the personal information pre-populate from? For example, date of birth.
Good question. So Tanya, this would pre-populate from when the candidate applies for a job at the very start of the process, it would be captured on the application form. And then, of course, as they become an employee, it's already stored against their record.
Okay.
All right, so Tristan's just completed that first phase, and then we go to the second level of ID that's required, driver's license as an example. So once again, continue on mobile or from email.
Okay, this one's a bit more involved because it has to take a front and back photo of the same documents.
Just a question from Alicia. What if somebody doesn't have a passport?
Okay, what if someone doesn't have a passport? Australian visa. Remember, this is the first layer of ID, and then the second layer we're coming to is documents like driver's license and the like.
Okay, and just as we're waiting still, just another poll. How do you currently action your police checks? Is that through, directly through the ASIC portal or by using a third-party vendor?
And just to let everybody know as well, after this session, we are recording it, so we'll be able to share the video with people.
Just finished.
How are we going there, Tristan?
The next is the secondary
Awesome.
documents. So these are, at the moment, we accept these two.
Bills, yeah, medical, Medicare, all those standard
Grab
documents.
a dummy one that we can upload. I'll just do.
Great.
Right. This is the more sophisticated part of the process. And it's a little hard to sort of show you because I can't really share my screen at the same time as doing this, but I can kind of walk you through what's happening. Once you start this, first you want to provide your passport or driver's license, one of the two that you've already provided. So I'll just do a passport.
Sorry, Tristan. So this is
Correct.
still the candidate
Still
or
the candidate
employee experience?
So this part is less about document collection and more about verifying that you're in the room providing the actual documents at the same time. So what this will do is first we will have a reference document, basically, which will be the passport. So it's a multi-step process. And this is the bit I can't really show because it all happens on my phone and it's hard to sort of demonstrate. But essentially what will happen is I'll scan this, I'll scan my passport, and then it will start trying to scan my face and get my face to move around at the same time. And the purpose of this is to make sure that I'm in the room, I'm actually there, I'm not just a picture of me somewhere, and it matches it with that passport as well. But I'll just quickly do that.
I mean, that's really good. In the past, you know, with police checks, people either have had to go into a pharmacy to get their facial matching, right, holding up the passport or their license. It's pretty amazing how far we've come.
Very much.
Are you worried, Tristan, yours might not come back as legit?
Oh, I've done this so many times now. I've gotten very used to it.
He's like, this is a repeat offender.
And it all takes the photo for you as well. There's no fumbling around with your fingers to try and actually get the shot without blurring it. It will just detect once it's in focus and then take the snap. So it's very, very user friendly.
Perfect.
And that's it. And this is just the final consent. Just quickly, like, I don't know how much of this you want me to demonstrate here, but yeah.
just straight after this process, Tristan, then it starts that actual checking in the background. So what happens at this phase, folks, is inside the platform, you'll have a dashboard first up to be able to track the status of all those checks. On the sidebar there where Tristan is just hovering, you can see there, and it'll give you, the different statuses in progress or what the outcome from the check was. And also, of course, from the employee and the candidate record, you will have direct access to the outcomes. Now, something to think about as well is with police checks, let's say they have to be renewed every 12 months. Part of our compliance module is enabling you to set automated reminders. So as those expiry dates approach, you've got reminders all set up, ready to go, they're triggered, and then you're just coming straight to the database, show me all the employees, and you just do it in bulk. Thanks so much, Tristan. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
No,
Otherwise,
that's
I
pretty
think
much it.
we're
That's
good.
the flow until it gets sent off to NSS and all that stuff. So.
Yes. Thank
No
you so
problem.
much. Appreciate your time. So to close it out, if anybody does have interest in picking up police checks to add to their account, you've got Jessie and Jaden, your account managers, to reach out to, or feel you can reach directly out to myself, and we can go from there.
And we do actually have quite a few questions.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
any last questions?
Very good. So I'm just going to start from the start.
Yes.
So basically, the next one was from Rachel.
Yeah.
Can the applicant amend their pre-filled personal information?
Can the applicant amend their pre-filled personal information? So yes, they can. Initially, they would have gathered that from the application process. By the time they get to the police check, they can definitely update their own information onto that form. The templates are all customizable as well, gathering that information.
Perfect. So next one was from Amanda. If someone has already sent us a copy of their passport and driver's license, can these files be pre-uploaded too? And then she says, I guess like the way the date of birth is pre-populated.
Oh, Amanda, we might have to come back to you on that one. I'm not sure whether it can be uploaded from yourselves on behalf of the candidate or employee. So let's make a note of that one if we can, Jessie, and we'll come back to Amanda.
Yep, sounds good. And then just as they were filling out, an Australian resident does not require a passport. How can this first step bypass the need to submit the passport?
Because we also have the first phase is the passport, then the visa, and then you've got those secondary layers of, the birth certificate, utility bills, whatever those 100 points of ID are.
Yeah, perfect. And that goes into some of the other questions with the birth certificate and such.
Yes. Could explanations to the candidate filling out the form be added to the process? Yes, absolutely. Yep. Because that's all customizable, those templates, you can absolutely have that ability. And yes, I think it's Tamara. Is the entire form customizable? Yes, it is. If someone doesn't have a smartphone, they'd be doing it either from a desktop computer or for a lot of our clients, especially in, let's say, remote locations or the type of roles they recruit for, people aren't that tech savvy. When they come on site, you can have somebody sit with them and they're doing it together while they're with you on site. Okay, so to re-access it, if they choose to save and finish later, they simply go back to the email they've received, click the link, and same thing, it'll take them back in. They'll still have the two-factor authentication. Jessie, what's the next one?
Yeah, so we've got quite a few that have come through.
Costings.
So costings, actually just reaching out to myself or Jaden and we can help you with the costings. So it will be an add-on pack. So basically
yes,
different pack sizes.
And also there's a question here about could candidates be asked to pay or does the company pay? You definitely have that option, and whichever option you're going with will trigger the appropriate workflow. I think we've already addressed candidates editing their details.
Workers.
How do we get notified of the police check results? You have a dashboard on the side, and that, I think Tristan showed us that. How long does it take for the police check to be completed? Can you fast track if they need to start immediately? My understanding of that, as soon as the information has been submitted, it triggers the process. I think on average, you're probably looking at 24, 48 hours, unless an issue is picked up at the crim check end, and then it would take a little bit longer, but regardless, you'll still have that status update coming to your dashboard. What else can you see there, Jessie?
So there's actually a really important one. Does the applicant receive a copy of their check?
Oh yes, absolutely. And if there is, for example, a court process in place, they will receive a full copy of that information with the report and the outcome. And it will therefore be then up to that applicant to decide whether they want to share that with you. What third party is used to run? Oh, so that is Priscilla. Yes, we go directly to ACIC. So there is no third party, no middleman in between. The police checks are native inside the platform and drives them straight out to ACIC to start that process. So the applicant only receives the check or both. Well, the company will receive the outcome, whether it was good or not, and the applicant will actually receive the results, you know, the full, what do you call it? The summary, the report.
Summary, yeah.
They will receive the report. All the company is going to receive is, yes, it's good, or it's still pending, there's more checks that need to be completed, or it's, you know, it's red, for example, it's not good, they're not approved.
And then Michael is asking, is this all compatible with Safe NT?
Oh, well, it's the National Crim Check Register, so maybe, Michael, we can come back to you about that.
Yeah.
But I would think with the National Crim Check Register, yes, it would be compatible, but definitely we'll make a note and confirm.
Yes. I think
No worries.
covers most of them there.
All right. So any further questions, folks, just feel free, reach out to your account managers. We really appreciate you taking the time today. Definitely we'll be following up for the pricing for the police check packs. I think we're starting packs around 50 units and go upwards from there. And also to let you know, coming up on the 16th of November in 2 weeks' time, we're doing another webinar for our onboarding module, how you can auto-generate your employment contracts and offers. And that will be a good training session as well. Yeah. So hopefully we'll see everyone there as well. Any final notes, Jessie, you want to add?
Very good. We just have one last poll. On a scale from 1 to 5, how likely are you to recommend police checks to a friend or a colleague? Very good. All right, the winning looks like it's out a 5, so that's great.
Fabulous.
Very good.
Thanks so much for attending, and we look forward to seeing everybody again soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Cheers.